Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best value for their whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems. David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM, spend time chatting with customers, resellers, and others about Sage CRM in action around the globe. In this episode, David asked Nick to walk through a few more customer stories, while Jeff asked for Nick's view on cloud CRM usage by his base and what he would like to see in the future releases of Sage CRM. Last time you and I were out together, which was some time ago now, I know we went to see some people in the furniture industry, and I mean by that sort of associations and things. Can you talk to us a bit about that? Because I think that's an interesting one from a membership angle, right?
Yes, that's correct. So that was we work with probably 4 members of this organisation, which is the BCFA. So they've actually introduced us to 4 members and these are customers that are manufacturing furniture or fabrics. So again, they put us in touch with people that need processes for managing samples out to customers. So they're sending fabrics, sending furniture samples out before people make that decision. So it's having a process in at the very beginning to manage that. And then obviously the sales process, which then goes off to a manufacturing process, which we have even put into CRM for one of the customers, so they can actually see what their production team is doing and where that is, which automatically emails the customer to say, your piece of furniture is currently with production, we'll update you again in 48 hours or whatever. And then obviously the invoicing and part invoicing at the end of it. From a membership perspective, so this organization manages all of their members within CRM. So they can see who they are, they can segment their members, they then use it for sending out newsletters and publications to them sort of going forward. And so they're just managing that process of here's our members, here's the subscription that they sell them, which is a yearly subscription for being a member. And then these guys then use the Sage 50 behind the scenes where they push the invoices to and send the invoices out. So again, they're managing the membership process in CRM and their members and their marketing, because they're linking with the MailChimp again directly from CRM to send out their communications to customers.
Good story. Jeff always likes to ask a question about what would you like in the product next? So Jeff, I'll ask it on your behalf, unless you want to add to
that. No, actually, before we talk about what you want in the product, I want to ask about this cloud thing. Do you think it's here to stay? Tell me a story involving Sage CRM and the cloud.
For a lot of the prospects and customers we work with, we privately host Sage CRM in their own cloud. So they'll be in a private Azure or privately hosted environment for their Sage CRM. Okay, because they don't have the resources on site, and a lot of Sage 50 customers don't. They have Sage 50 on an old box in the corner that everybody accesses, or they have the cloud version of that now where they can share the data. So a lot of our implementations, when we've been working with Sage 50, we've put Sage CRM up in a private cloud environment for them, which we can then roll into their subscription price. Okay, so we know based on the number of users how much this is going to be. If it's going to be a 5 user or a 10 user, it's rolled into their license price. Sort of going forward that way. Yes, we then have the resources to manage these environments, because obviously you've still got to manage the server environment, the backups, the antivirus. So all of that is still being managed. That's part of the extension from the Entegraty side of things, that we've got the skills in house to manage that in data centers. But that's more and more people are coming to us more and more wanting to put their CRM up in a private cloud or a cloud, so it's available for their team to access wherever they are. Okay, so by having that, the secure SSL certificates and domains set up for them, that they like this, they want to have this because they see this with all other cloud or online products at the moment. They need it easily accessible, plus they don't want to have the pain of managing systems themselves in-house, especially with people working remotely now, not being in the office. It needs to be more accessible when they're out and about, or they're working from home a couple of days a week now. They want to be able to access CRM wherever they are. There'll always be customers that like to have it locked down on their own environment, and they'll set up VPNs and other ways of accessing. But the majority we're now seeing is actually they're looking for the private hosting as an option to put Sage CRM in a cloud environment for them.
Nick, what would you like to see next within the product?
There's a couple of things that our customers sort of bring up. Doing a lot with customers that are servicing equipment as well. So they've got an admin team that are phoning up customers to say, can we book an engineer in to come and see you, or we're sending them an email and they're phoning in to book it in. What would be really great is an external calendar scheduler system, so you could share an engineer's diary and actually send a link out to the customers and say, actually, this is the availability for us to book an engineer to come in or to come and see you. Click on the date and time that works for you, and it books that in. So something around that would be really good, because we've got a lot of customers that have engineers that are going out, or have people that are going. And even for a salesperson, it's a really useful tool to say, actually, instead of sending an email back and forward to get a time right on a meeting, if you can just send out here's my availability for the next week or two, click here and book now.
You're thinking in a calendar equivalent of something like self-service or lead, web to lead. The idea is that you can request a callback. It's the sort of thing that we very often see in people exposing their own calendars to book an appointment. Is that the thing that you're wanting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
So that's one that comes out, and that again moves on to almost what you said. There's the self-service side of things. We're seeing some of the customers we're working with want to give more and more of that to their customers. If they can provide a self-service portal to a customer to keep their data up to date, to go in and renew a contract, that's great. The portal tool is good, and we've done lots of development around that for certain customers where they can go and do this type of thing. But out of the box more, having even the basics that actually here's a service portal where, yes, we can log support cases, but you can go and update your own information, keep your contact information up to date as a minimum, would be a great thing to have exposed straight away, and a great addition to the sort of demo environments that we're showing.
Jeff, this idea of this external calendar, your first idea, Nick, is interesting, because we could tie that in or suggest ways of tying it into workflow. So it could do all sorts of clever stuff about routing the engineer to the next place and that sort of thing at the same time, right?
My mind is just whirring on that prospect.
That about brings our time to a close. That was excellent. Thank you, Nick. You've given me some good background, some good background on what you do and how you do it, and some thoughts on the future too. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much.
You've been listening to Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems.